Hello there. Can I just say thank goodness it's finally 8 o'clock on a Tuesday. I've had one of them weeks. Have you had one of those weeks? Are you thinking, I just need to get away. I need something to look forward to. I need to book another cruise. Well, you are in the right place. We have got the most amazing show coming up with Planet Cruise. My name's Sean, by the way, if you are new to the show. And guess who's back on the sofa? He's looking very dapper today. He's actually made an effort for once.
Well, I thought I'd go shopping, yeah.
I hadn't recognised you. You've even had your hair cut.
I did it when we were in the green room earlier. Shot off and had it done.
So I did.
Yeah,
at the local supermarket. Nice to see you.
How are you, mate? You good?
Oh, great. I gather, because Glenn's been in the call centre the past few weeks. He's obviously... Well, he kind of works part-time. But you've been really busy on the last few shows.
August is always a busy month anyway. January and August are probably the two busiest months. And I think I got out of the office about 11:45 last night.
Wow.
But I'm absolutely buzzing because I finish in about 58 minutes and I'm on holiday for 2 weeks. Yes.
Now, we've got such a brilliant lineup tonight. Just to give you the heads up, my two favourite words are all-inclusive.
Obviously.
Yeah, and we've got a brilliant all-inclusive from Marella, haven't we?
We've got one from Marella, we've got one from Norwegian Cruise Line as well. We've got a couple of coming up. We're going to take people over to the Caribbean. We've got the Fjords, we've got a bit over to the Far East. And, yeah, we've got a little bit of something everyone.
And we have got a brand new guest. Is one of your colleagues that works with you?
I don't know how he's managed it. I don't know how he's managed to get out of the call centre, but we thought we'd bring him on. Dan's coming on tonight. We work with him in the call centre. And we're doing a P&O Oceana cruise tonight, and he's actually been on the cruise, been on the ship, so he's coming on to talk about it. So, yeah, we'll have someone...
and that's different. Over to the Middle East, isn't it?
Over to the Middle East, doing Dubai and Abu Dhabi and places like that.
It's a good
one, that one, yeah.
Really low price.
I've booked that one for myself for next year as well.
Have you really?
Yeah.
I'm tempted. I'm very tempted.
Well, let's go together, come on.
Yeah, we should.
Can you imagine?
Could get messy. Anyway, we also have something very special to tell you. Do you remember over the past few weeks we've been running a competition to win the most amazing Monopoly sets?
Yeah, it's a Royal Caribbean. I think they did it when they launched the Symphony a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. And we've been sitting in the office, no one's touched it, and
so it's a special Royal Caribbean
one,
Monopoly.
and people have entered it. So we've actually got a winner, and I think we've got the winner's name.
Right, well, I'll give you... Right, OK. I can tell you it's a male.
Yes.
OK, sorry, ladies. What else you getting?
I think he starts with the letter T.
That's right. Yeah, it starts with T. But it's not a Thomas.
No, I think it's a Shall we have a look at the side?
Let's have a look. Who's won?
There
it's
you
Terence!
Go. Terence McHugh. We've actually spoke to his wife. I think he's actually watching the show tonight and has no idea. So big shout out to yourself now. Our lucky winners, Terence McHugh from Newton Town Abbey, and congratulations. We've got the Monopoly board on the way to you, sir.
I'm so jealous because that's one of my favourite cruise companies and my favourite game. So well done.
And it's very, very rare to get one of those, so you don't have them very often.
So congratulations. Now, we also would love to invite each and every one of you to our luxury cruise and river show. These are brilliant. It's a chance for you to learn more about luxury cruises.
Yeah, it's more the luxury lines, so we'll have some of the top lines there, we'll have some of the big river cruise companies there. I'm actually going to be there myself.
Are you really? Oh,
yeah,
great.
there's going to be about 4 or 5 of us from the team there. So if you want to come down, it's the River and Ocean Luxury Cruise Show. It's at Riviera, Selsdon Estate, Thursday the 6th of September 2018. Now, if you want to register, just go onto the site at www.planetcruise.com. On there, you can register and come along and see us. As I said, it's going to be more your luxury lines, your Silver Seas, your Seabourns, and, of course, as I said, like APT, River Cruise, Viking, and people like that. But come down and see us. We do a couple of these a year. They're very, very good. You get to chat to the local agents there, and as I said, hopefully we'll get something booked for you, and you'll get all the lowdown.
Brilliant. But we better begin.
Not yet. I've got some call-outs to do.
Oh, God. Hang on, we're already behind. Glenn got a massive list.
I have, so I'll go through them really, really quickly.
Go on.
Brenda and David, I said I'd give you a call-out. Book Celebrity and P&O with me. Congratulations, how are you? I'll see you when I get back in a couple of weeks. I've got Katrina, David and Lindsay. They've booked the Iceland cruise with Celebrity, so they're going off there. Well done. We've got Christine and Richard Metcalf. They did the Barcelona Grand Prix this year. They loved it so much they're going back on the Epic again for next year.
Brilliant.
Hello, how are you? We've got Tim, Karen and June. Again, they're going off to the Baltics on Celebrity. That's the one we did a couple of weeks ago. So I spoke to them a lot about what to do in Russia, so have a great time there. And then also we've got Dorothy and James. They're having a little cheeky cruise out to the Monaco Grand Prix with MSC. We've got Neil and Sheila. They booked with Danielle the other day. They're off to Australia. And then finally we've got Alan and Linda London. I told you I'd give you a call out. You're off to the Caribbean with Marella. You've got to start booking with me more often. So they're the call outs that we've got.
That was quite quick, actually.
Oh, very good, yeah. I think now anyone that books with me now gets a call out. So it's great. It could be a long show in a couple of weeks.
But we're going to start off with an amazing deal. We think this, well, we know this was going to absolutely fly. It's with Marella. It has got those 3 words. You're going to get an upgrade, a free upgrade to all-inclusive.
All-inclusive, and the tips included. So your
tips.
drinks, your tips included. And I think if you want to get away, again, this goes out throughout the year. So it goes out starting from 16th of November 2018 all the way through to April. So over the winter time, you know, we know the weather's been poor in the UK the last few months. So let's get a little bit of sunshine.
Honestly, brilliant prices. And honestly, all-inclusive, you cannot go wrong with this. But let's give you a little taster of what life is like on board with Marella, of course. And we will still say it, for those of you that don't know, Marella, obviously, Thomson Cruises.
It used to be Thompson, part of TUI, the cruise ships are now called Marella. Do you know, I cannot believe how many of these we're selling. I sold, I think, 6 cabins yesterday when I was in the office on Marella on their various ships. They've brought out the Discovery 1, 2, Explorer 1 and 2 coming out next year. But the Dream, the Spirit, and the Spirit and the Celebration are still so popular. And they do the Canaries like no other. They're brilliant. British Cruise Line, again, you've got the regional flights. So I think we've based this on, I think, Stansted and Gatwick. But because it's Marella, we can look at Glasgow, Edinburgh, Newcastle, Manchester, Bristol, Exeter, wherever you want to go to, and we'll look at the prices on there for you.
And I know, Glenn, whenever we talk to Marella customers, they always say about the great food, the great service, fantastic entertainment.
Just spoken to a lady last night. She's just got off the Spirit, and she said she's cruised about 30 times with all the cruise line. The Spirit had the best atmosphere, and this is what these ships have got. The Dream is no different. It's nice to go down to the Canaries. You can have a cruise maybe before or after Christmas. You know you're going to get guaranteed sunshine there. The staff are good. Your drinks, your food, your tips are all included.
Oh, you don't have to worry about anything, do you?
No, really. And even in the ports of call, most of the ports of call you go into on this itinerary, you could just sort of wander off, do your own thing. So in theory, you're paying there. That would be it. That's all you're going to pay for the cruise.
And so we've got a brilliant selection of dates from November right the way through to April of next year. But if you book tonight, you will get that free upgrade to all-inclusive and tips. And just a small deposit, £75.
£75 deposit, yeah, so you can pay it now and then worry about it in a few months' time. Good thing with Marella, say the staff are good, the entertainment always wins the awards as well, and it's a British cruise line, which is nice.
And I know if Simon and Sylvia and Doris are watching, they emailed me recently, they've just come back from Marella and had the most amazing time.
Yep.
I know they've booked and cruised with them loads of times. Anyway, let's
have a look where we're going.
Yeah, so this winter sun. So it starts off, obviously, with the flight.
Yeah, so the flights, as I said, we can look at regional airports for you. That's not a problem at all. And a good thing, it's all packaged. So your transfers, you'll be met at the airport and then taken in Tenerife, obviously, to the cruise terminal and to board the ship. From there, you're then going to make your way down to a number of the Canarian Islands. We're going to go over to Las Palmas in Gran Canaria. Now, Las Palmas, Gran Canaria is great. That's the port area, but you can go off to Puerto Rico. You can go up into Maspalomas. You can go to plenty of different places there, which is really nice. It's a very popular destination with the Brits. Then we go into Santa Cruz de la Palma, which is La Palma. Some people may have not been there before. A little bit more...
I like it.
Yeah, a little bit more back to basics. Gran Canaria, Tenerife, Lanzarote, the big islands. This is a little bit more wild, and I do suggest maybe taking the tours up into the hillside.
I remember it being a bit greener as well.
It's beautiful out there, and again, even if you wander around the back streets and then stop and have a couple of glasses of sangria, taking the views there, it's a little bit more tranquil than some of the other big islands in the Canaries, which is nice. Then we go to ever-popular Madeira. Again, we talk about this quite a lot. You're going up there, popular with the transatlantics. And as I said, we talk about going around the main port area. There's some great restaurants and bars, but I would recommend maybe taking the morning tour and going out and about, because some people go to Madeira and just wander around the port area, go up into the hillside, fantastic views. And we always say it's almost like Europe meeting the Caribbean. It's very different, but a beautiful place to see. And if you've not had the chance to go to, Madeira will be one of your highlights. Then what's quite nice is just a chill out, relaxing day at sea before heading over to somewhere a little bit different, which is Agadir over into Morocco. And of course, completely different to what you've got in the Canaries and Spain. A few things to do here. You can go into the Sousse National Park. You can also go to a crocodile park. They've got the crocodile park there as well, which is something a little bit different. I like personally going down into the Medina and the souks, into the marketplaces, do a bit of haggling and come back with some of those genuine fake goods, which is always good. Then from there we go back into Lanzarote, another one of the big islands. Always a little bit more windier over in Lanzarote, but again you've got the deserts there. You can go and ride the camels, which you can see there, or just again wander around in Arrecife. The town is always buzzing there. And as I said, all of these ports of call, if you want to do tours you can do so, but if you're on a budget, this is maybe your second or third holiday like Sean, or fourth or fifth or whatever it is, you might just want to pay...
I've been quite good this year, so.
You have actually, but you might just want to pay that price, drinks, tips, flights, transfers included, and then just wander off staff and just get lost every single day. Nice chance to go there, and this is going to be a really, really popular one tonight.
I'm actually really tempted with this one myself.
It's
really,
nice.
Yeah,
it is nice.
For early on next year, because I love getting away January, February time. Let's give you a little idea of how wonderful the ship's going to be. They're always kind of smaller ships, aren't they?
They are smaller ships, and they're a little bit older than some of the ships now there, but they've got this character, they've got their quirkiness, and as I said, they always say that the staff on board really, really do create the atmosphere.
And they just get amazing reviews. And every time I read reviews or speak to passengers, they've always had such a lot of fun.
Anything for less than £100 a night is always going to be a wonderful deal. And then you've got the flights with that, all inclusive, for less than £100, entertainment, which always wins the awards.
You know, when you break it down, like Glenn said, it's just something that, you know, you don't even have to think about on this one. But they always sell them whenever you're in the call centre, and we have an all-inclusive Marella.
They have very, very fluid pricing. So basically, if people are booking, they'll just start to put the price up. So obviously, that's what they are at the moment.
Just sometimes after the show, does the price even go up the next day?
It can go up the next day, can even go up that night. So it's just depending on what's available.
And now, just to remind you of what's included, the lead date is the 30th of November, but to be honest, the prices are really good throughout you know, November right the way through to April. We've got a free upgrade tonight, live in the show, to all-inclusive and your tips. Return flights, they're based on London, Gatwick or Stansted, but the great thing with Marella, as Glenn mentioned, we have got flights available from most UK airports just for supplement, and a low deposit you can book tonight for just £75 per person. Now, we're actually going to say goodbye to Glenn there now, aren't we?
I've had enough, that's it.
Yeah, we've got a younger replacement. I know, it's happening to me here as well.
I know, tell me about it. It's a nightmare. Yeah.
Glenn, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you, mate. Yeah. No problem at all.
I'll see you actually shortly, because we're going to leave in 5 minutes. Yeah, Glenn's just, he's going to be just leaving for 5 minutes.
Can I have a cup of tea?
Yeah, have a cup of tea, because we've got Dan joining us instead. You can check your hair again, can't you?
Thanks, I'm going to see the hairdresser.
So, price-wise, I told you, they don't actually vary too much. You know, if you look there, we've got brilliant prices throughout those many dates. And what I would do, just one thing I do want to mention, great prices for the outside. The suites, you've probably noticed they're a lower price on certain dates than the balcony. You know, on certain dates, they're quite close. The suites don't come with balconies, but they have far bigger rooms, obviously. But do have a look there. We're already getting many, many sellouts. So extremely busy for that one. And we've got some great single prices as well. Flight-wise, we have got loads of flights available. Just to give you an idea of regionals, just for supplements, but many, many airports there to choose from. My nearest is East Midlands, as it happens. Anyway, we've got a new replacement for Glenn. I should say that. Dan is with us. Nice to meet you,
Nice
Dan.
to meet you, Sean.
What's he like to work with? I bet it's a nightmare, isn't he?
Oh, he's wonderful.
Is
He's
he?
absolutely wonderful. Don't worry about that. He's wonderful.
But you work alongside Glenn, obviously. So most Tuesday evenings, you're actually taking bookings, aren't you?
Absolutely. So they've let me out for once, which is great. So good to be here.
And I know you've done a lot of cruises yourself, haven't you? When did you first start?
Well, I started about 10 years ago. I think it was just over 10 years ago. So I've been on a few since then. I've been very lucky. So.
Now, I know you're here to talk about an amazing P&O deal in the Middle East, but I just saw you flagging something of that. Is something coming from the call centre, is that right?
Absolutely, yeah. So we've been very lucky today. If you thought about going on a Royal Caribbean cruise, this could be your chance. We've got Explorer of the Seas. It's going 20th of October 2019. It's a 5-night cruise. So if you've ever thought about a taster, and I think it was your first cruise, wasn't it?
It was Royal Caribbean, yeah.
There we go.
Loved it.
So you've got that opportunity to go. Now, we've got it. I've got the cruise ID for you here. So if you do call in and quote 173301. It's Explorer of the Seas, 20th of October next year, and a fantastic family price on there.
And what's the family price?
It's 1599 for the whole family.
Family of 4?
Family of 4.
That works out what? That's about £400 each?
Something like that.
Yeah. Give or take a penny,
Give or take a penny, yeah.
And what's the date again?
So it's the 20th of October 2019, so next year. But you can go on there. You can book it today. It's a £1 deposit, so it's just £1 per person. So if you're a family of 4, it's £4.
And what's the lead price on that? Have you got any as lead price?
Lead price for an inside cabin is £438 per person.
Wow, brilliant.
Yeah.
So anyway, so just ring now, and that's for next year, 20th of October,
20th of
with
October,
Royal Caribbean, a 5-night cruise. But you are here to talk about an amazing deal with P&O. And I'm so glad that you're here, because this is a part of the world that I've not been to, but it's really high on my wish list.
Absolutely. You know, the Emirates is very big. Lots of people want to go to Dubai. So this gives you a chance to go to not just Dubai, but many others.
Wow. And you've probably noticed that it's actually 11 nights, and we've got a lead date with the price starting at £885. And again, a £1 deposit on this one.
Again, a £1 deposit.
So even if your credit card's really, you know, quite full at the moment, £1 per person deposit. But let's, well, we thought we'd got rid of him, but actually we haven't, because Glenn is actually on this clip of film, isn't he? Here he is to tell you all about P&O.
From the moment you step on board Oceana, you know you're in for an outstanding experience. Oceana has a distinctive style and character that makes her one of the best-loved mid-sized family ships. With lots of deck space, there's an open, luxurious, airy feel to life on board. She's the perfect ship for enjoying outdoor activities and relaxation in the sunshine. Her impressive 4-decked high atrium reveals a contemporary ship with a glass elevator, stained glass ceiling, sweeping marble staircase and trickling water features, adding to just that little bit of touch of elegance. More than 600 of the 975 cabins have outside views and 450 have balconies, which score highly for privacy with solid partitions each side and above. You can upgrade to a suite experience, giving you the personal haven to retreat, relax, indulge and of course entertain. And when it comes to dining, Oceana has the whole family covered with the elegant dining in Liguorian and Adriatic main restaurants and Café Jardin, an exceptional Italian and Mediterranean restaurant with great views. No matter what time of the day it is, if you fancy a good meal, you'll always get one on board Oceana. The self-service buffet offers high-quality dining throughout the day and a relaxed, informal environment. Some great entertainment is provided in the Footlights Theatre, where you can enjoy a cinematic experience by day and Western-style musical extravaganzas by night. You can enjoy the cocktail and club vibes in the club, spinning up-to-date tunes on the latest sound equipment. But my favourite place is here at the Winners Club, where you can enjoy a nice cold beer whilst watching the football. Children can make new friends at the Reef, the supervised children's club with a range of entertainment that has been specifically designed to appeal to different age groups. Their very own Reef Rangers have extensive experience in planning and facilitating activities for all age ranges.
Amazing company, great reputation, but look at the price for 11 nights. And so you've actually done this itinerary, haven't you?
So I've been lucky enough to go out to this part of the world. I've done all of the places on this, so hopefully lots of insight for you.
Well, let's start off. So we're obviously flying over to Dubai, aren't we?
You're flying over to Dubai, so we're going to fly you out there. You can fly from London or Manchester. When you get to Dubai, there'll be a transfer there to the ship. Now, we'll talk about Dubai in a minute because we do come back to it.
Yes. So it's a little taste of it, but we do stay there at the end of this cruise, don't we?
Absolutely. So when we come out of Dubai, you're going to board the ship. You're going to head over to Bahrain, that you see out there. It's the smallest sort of country in the Middle East there, but it really packs a punch with what you can do. You've got plenty to do there. What I'd say is get yourself on a tour and see all of the culture you can possibly there. See the mosque, see the city itself. It's a fantastic place. Leaving Bahrain, we're then going to head down towards Abu Dhabi. Now, this is one of the big hitters of the region, isn't it? So, luckily here, we've got an overnight on board. So, you're there for 2 days. Now, in Abu Dhabi, what I'd say to you is get yourself out. If you're a Formula One fan, you really have to go and see the Yas Marina circuit and also Ferrari World. You've got the fastest roller coaster in the world there to head to. Now, if you're a bit of a culture vulture, what I'd do is head to the Grand Mosque. Fantastic place, really a must-see. And also, they've just opened up a new gallery there, the Louvre, which was just,
you were telling about this earlier,
just in Paris. They've now opened a brand new one here. It looks absolutely phenomenal. Really worth going to visit.
So really good that we are there, say, overnight.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot to see and do, isn't there?
Absolutely, yeah. So leaving Abu Dhabi, you're going to then get the chance to relax the following day because you head to Sabani Yaz Island. Now, this is an island, it's a nature reserve. Thousands of animals there, absolutely thousands, massive bird sanctuary, and as you can see, you've got crystal clear blue waters, white sand beaches. If you really want to make the most of your time here, grab a private cabana for yourselves and just enjoy the beach.
After Abu Dhabi and Dubai, to actually just chill, relax, that's amazing, isn't it?
Absolutely. If you're not relaxed enough, you're then going to have a day at sea before heading round to Muscat, which is in Oman. Now, this is where it changes completely. It's completely different to Abu Dhabi and Dubai. Absolutely beautiful. Try and get up early and see the sailing because the coastline along there is phenomenal. When you get to Muscat, I'd head out of the port, 10-minute walk, and you're into the souk. Now, get yourself in there and try and barter your way down to a good deal. You know?
If you and Glenn were bartering, who'd get the best deal, if you reckon?
Oh, definitely me. Absolutely. Absolutely. He'd get bored. So it'd be fine. So once you then leave Muscat, we're then going to head around just up the coast to Kasab, which is still in Oman. It's up there on the point. Again, this is the place. You can see the 17th century fort there, or you can do a little bit towards the nature here. Now, I'd say if you want to, do a jeep safari here, because it's got phenomenal deserts to go out on. And you've also got the fjords there. People think the fjords are just in Norway, but these ones you can swim in because it's warm enough. Perfect place.
I bet they're amazing, actually.
Oh, they're beautiful. And you quite often see dolphins. Not always, but quite often. So good chance there. Now, heading out of Kasab, you're then going to head back round, and this is when we get back to Dubai. So it's back to your starting point, but it doesn't end there because you've got an overnight on board. So you've got the whole day there to see. Now, when you're there, you've got to go up the Burj Khalifa, the tallest building, get up to the 124th floor, you know, have a look out, head out to the Palm there, head out to Atlantis there. It's a fantastic place to go. You've also got the shopping there, but it's not just shopping, is it? You've got so much to do. They've got skiing in there.
I mean, anything that you want to do is there in Dubai, isn't it?
You name it, you can do it. It's a phenomenal place, really worth going to. And then from there, after your overnight, the next day, sadly, it's back to the UK to think about your next one.
I am seriously tempted with this one. Price-wise, I mean, obviously you sell cruises every single day. This is a phenomenal deal tonight, isn't it?
This deal, if you look at the lead-in price, if you went to just Dubai for a 3-night holiday with flights, it would cost you nearly that much, and you've not got any food.
And you are on board this beautiful ship. So let's remind you, and great entertainment, of course, as well, of what's included. Now, the lead date on this one is the 9th of February, but we've got some, to be fair, we've got some brilliant prices across the board. Only £1 deposit tonight as well, so deposits start from only £1. If you book a select fare, you will see some free onboard spending money. The call centre will talk you through that as well. And nice to see the return flights for all of our northern viewers, like myself. You've got Manchester and you've got London as well, haven't you?
Absolutely. So there's really an easy tours to get down there.
Can I say, Dan, thank you so much. And can you come back?
I hope so. I hope you'll have me back. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so come back in a few weeks.
Thank you very much.
Again. Thank you so much.
No, thank you.
And I better share the prices as well. So these are the prices that we've got. I said brilliant prices across the board on that. Some of the suites have already sold out, just to warn you. But even the suites, if you really want to treat yourself, that can't be right. There's a suite in December starting at 1,765 there. Brilliant. But we have got, say, great prices with the inside, the outside, the balcony and the suites as well. And we have got a competition tonight as well. This is their brand new ship, the Iona, launching, of course, soon. And if you want to have a chance of winning a cruise on board, all you need to do is register now at the Planet Cruise website, planetcruise.com/EN there. And if you register, you'll be entered into that prize draw to win a cruise on board their brand new ship, which looks so exciting. I want to say, she looks absolutely spectacular. So anyone watching it, you might as well have a go. I know take you a few moments to register and be in the prize draw as well. The staterooms look beautiful. But he's back. I bet you have some right banter in the office, don't you?
Oh, I'll tell you, he's a beautiful man, isn't he? He's got a face for radio, isn't he? I was just watching you two sitting here under this, and it looked like you were doing your wedding vows.
You've got all these flowers, haven't we?
What's going on?
Hey? Well, I don't know.
Not sure.
It was Justin that wanted them for some
reason. Well, I bet he did, yeah.
But yeah, it looks like we're getting married, actually.
Yeah.
Anyway, but you can get married on a cruise.
Of course you can, yeah. Come and meet us, we'll get it sorted for you.
Anyway, we do need to move on, yes. We're a bit behind. We have got an amazing cruise coming up next with Norwegian Cruise Lines, and it's a premium all-inclusive. That means premium drinks, it means tips, it even means Wi-Fi as well on this one. And a great itinerary, isn't it?
Really good, going over to the Far East on this one. So this one, we're going to start off in Singapore. We're going to fly you over to Singapore. And what's so good about this one, we've included a 3-night stay in Singapore. Now, the video we're showing is going to give you a small overview of Singapore, but if you've not been there before, 3 days, I think, is the minimum to go. There's plenty to see there. I think because this is one of our tailor-made package, you can extend it a bit longer, you can make it shorter.
So this
one's
exclusive to Planet,
yeah, exactly. Yeah? But I would say 3 days, definitely. You've got loads to see. You've got the new Marina Bay Sands hotel. You've got Raffles, the famous Raffles, and go try Singapore Sling. pop over to Singapore Zoo at night time. The Singapore Zoo in the evening is fabulous. And of course, then you go over to Sentosa. They've got plenty of facilities over there, the cable car to take you over. As I said, you've got the time to do it. Singapore's one of the cleanest cities in the world. It's not cheap to be there, I'll be honest. It's quite expensive when you're eating and drinking, but it is one of the most beautiful cities. And it really is modern culture. The other thing they have got is that place there, which is the Gardens by the Bay. If you've seen Avatar or anything like that, this place has been built now. You've got the opportunity to go around there. And it's wonderful. If you've done something like the Eden project, times that by about 10 in Singapore, and it is very, very impressive.
I was only there for a day on a cruise, and I really felt a bit cheated. Yeah,
it's great to go and see it, but when you're doing these tailor-made packages, obviously the cruise is what it is, but then we can tailor-make it to suit your needs.
So if you wanted more days?
Yeah, exactly. I would say 3 days at least, really, and you can see as much as you want.
And that's in a 4-star hotel as well.
And normally what we do with the hotels, we have 3 or 4 hotels we use depending on availability, and we'll put you in a good one, good location, easy to get around. So
that's how it all starts.
Yep.
But you are going to be cruising with Norwegian Cruise Lines. And I've cruised with Norwegian Cruise Lines, or NCL as I call them. I think I've cruised 3 times. I love them. I like the fact that it's quite informal.
Well, I used to work for a company called Ocean Village, and we were one of the first to do the informal dining, and this is what Norwegian have carried it on. So this is going to be informal dining, flexi dining. You don't have to dress up at night time, smart casual every evening. And again, what's great here, the shows are very modern, very funky, very, very up to date. And again, the way they design the ships is like that as well. Again, they've got things like the water lagoons on there, beautiful cabins. And what's so good about it as well, they've included the all-inclusive in this one. So your drinks are included. Used to, a couple of years ago with Norwegian Cruise Line, compulsory that you had to pay your tips. That's now included. And of course, like any modern cruise line now, they've included the Wi-Fi as well.
So, you've got everything on this one. And some amazing places as well. So we're in Singapore. We've stayed there 3 nights in that 4-star hotel. We're on board the ship.
Yeah, and you're going to go around this area. So you're going to go into a place called Port Klang, which you may not have heard of before, but this is the gateway to go into Kuala Lumpur. Now, very, very different on this particular cruise. We're actually going to have an overnight in board, so you've got a chance to have the 2 days in Kuala Lumpur. Now, of course, you've got the temples and the historical centre to go and see, but those 2 bad boys are the things you're going to say, the Petronas Towers. That's what Kuala Lumpur has become famous for. I think the film Entrapment with Catherine Zeta-Jones and Sean Connery was filmed there. But again, you have a chance to go to the Petronas Towers. If you don't want to do modern culture, you can also go over to the Batu Caves and the temple area, go into the limestone caves there, and that's it there. Very, very impressive. So you've got a choice of a bit of modern or a bit of culture, and because you're there 2 days, you've possibly got the chance to do both. So that's a nice way to do that. We then go on to stunning Langkawi. I've only been there once myself, and this is absolutely beautiful. Again, a number of things to do here. I would recommend a trip on the cable car for fantastic views. Again, you've got the villages, you've got the bridge, the suspension bridge there, which you can see is absolutely phenomenal. But the cable car, the bridge are one things to do if you want to chill out. When we did it, we just went and chilled out on the beach. I think beers were really, really expensive. I think it was about 30p a beer, and the food wasn't much more.
Well, that's a lot for you, Glenn.
Well, that's it, yeah, exactly. But you've got a chance to do all different things on there, and it is a spectacular place, and you can finish with some pictures as you sail past Eagle Square. Then into Penang. Now, Penang, again, a couple of things to do here. You've got the Kok Lee Si, which is the 19th century Buddhist temple. You've also got the phenomenal views on Penang Hill. Again, you can take the funicular up there. That's the temple, as you can see, very, very impressive. We also, when we were there, we did a tour with one of the local guides. We went from the temple up into a couple of the other temples they have there, and then down into the fish market, into where the locals are, and it is spectacular. And then in the afternoon, again, we just chilled out on the beach and took it easy. So it's a nice way to see Malaysia. Then we go into one of the most famous places in this destination, that is Phuket, of course, in Thailand. And again, with this one, loads and loads of stuff to do. It's just a shame you're there for one day. Go to the limestone stacks there with the island, past James Bond Island, which is beautiful. You've also got Wat Shalong, which is the temple, the Buddhist temple. You can go to Tiger Kingdom. You can actually go out to the floating villages. But I would say if you're only there one day, either take in one of the temples or maybe a trip on over to James Bond Island. Then a chill-out day, relaxing, and back into Singapore. Now, we've based this on Gatwick. To be quite honest, flying you out with Emirates now, we could go from Glasgow, Newcastle, Birmingham, Manchester, or London. So we can do it for you.
So again, as long as you give us a call tonight, and as soon as you can, the team, Glenn and his friends, can talk through all the different options. Now, I forgot to mention, you will get up to $500 free onboard spending money. That's per stateroom. You're going to get premium all-inclusive drinks. We'll show those in a second. They're brilliant. with Norwegian Cruise Lines, and that's selected spirits, beers, wines, cocktails, soft drinks, all your onboard service charges and gratuities, plus Wi-Fi, so you'll all get a Wi-Fi package. And return flights, as Glenn mentioned, based on Gatwick, but we can look further afield for you. And just to remind you, this is what the premium drinks package includes. It's quite vast, this actually, isn't it?
You should know this because you've got this on your wall at home, haven't you? So this is something they brought in the premium all-inclusive now. So again, mainly it's your drinks package that you've got included on there. Again, children and adolescents are.
But a lot of branded
unlimited.
drinks,
Yeah, exactly. All your beers, your wines, your cocktails. Service charge and tips are now included, which is nice. They didn't used to do that. And the other thing as well, we all talk about the alcohol, but also you've got the specialty coffees, and again, you're getting the 60-minute free Wi-Fi per person on
I mean, I do joke about the alcohol, and I do like a drink on a cruise, but I also like things like my bottled waters, and say I always start the morning with a cup of iced coffee.
Your two things on the ship that you're going to get: the big bills, excursions and drinks. If that's included, you know that's taken care of.
So I think that's going to go tonight, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think that'll be really popular.
It is a good one, that one, yeah.
My trouble is, as ever, I'm looking again, I want to book them all.
Normally does.
I think I've done 20, I've been very lucky, I've done 27 or 28 cruises, so I'm very lucky, but there's still room for more. Something I haven't done, though, is a river cruise.
Haven't you?
No.
Oh, that's next on the list. Well, now you're getting to nearly 50, you're right up your alleyway now, and you're sitting back, relaxing with a good book.
I'm still in my 40s, Glenn.
Not for much longer.
No, I'd like to actually to do one with my mum, because I think she'd like the smaller ships. I think
we're doing loads of them now. And I say it a lot when we do a river cruise. A lot of people that have done the ocean cruises, they've done the Caribbean and the Med, and they've done further afield, and they're wanting now to experience the river cruises. Now, whether you go Danube, Rhine, we've got the Moselle today, which is slightly different, the Douro, it's just a different way. It's a lot more relaxed. Again, you've not got the surfing and the rock climbing and the massive restaurants, but if you want completely moving scenery the whole time, a little bit of luxury and beautiful places, stopping in the centre of town all the time, this is why these river cruises are so good.
And I have to say, Fred Olsen, I cruised with my mum on an ocean cruise a few years ago, and we were so impressed.
They are very, very
really
good. We sell a lot of them. I've sold a couple this week myself. And the other thing which is quite nice with this one is that they're also doing the all-inclusive drinks on here, which is drinks with meals, beers, wine and soft drinks for £10 per person per day to add that on. So, again, it's worth doing on there.
That's good. When I'm on a river cruise with my mum, I need something affordable drinks-wise. So that's actually, she's cut back, bless her.
Yeah, love her. There you go.
Anyway, let's give you a little taster here. This river cruise, what sort of size ship are we talking about?
So, I mean, comparing some to the big Royal Caribbean ships of 6,500 people, this has got 79 rooms on it. Again, 156 passengers. You've got 40 crew looking after it, and the ship itself was built back in 2006. Now, again, speed, it's got a top speed of 13.5 knots. It's going to meander its way along the rivers here. And as I said, this one is doing the Moselle Valley. This is a 7-night scenic cruise. And what's so nice about this one is the staff are going to be looking after you the whole time. The food, the level of service is exceptional. Every night is just evening entertainment, just to unwind from a busy day. But what's so nice about this one, this particular cruise here is going to give you the chance to see two of Europe's most spectacular cathedrals. You've also got a chance to take in the breathtaking Middle Rhine Valley, and of course the magnificent Moselle Valley as well. It's beautiful. Again, your dining there is exceptional. If you like your fine dining, the river cruises across the board always seem to go a little bit higher because they've got less passengers to cater for. It's a little bit more attention to detail.
Did you say there is entertainment on there?
There is. So they'll have a sort of a piano player or maybe a singer, and then what they tend to do is some of the places, depending on the cruise and how the cruise directors decide, they'll bring on local sort of acts and things like that.
Very good. Just looking at some of the places, I haven't.
No, but many of these river cruises we haven't been to before.
Yeah.
And again, people say you don't go in as much detail about the river cruise ports because you tend to stop and start in some of the smaller destinations. It's not like going to your Venice and your Rome. But again, every time you do this, you can go off and explore. Now, what they do with Fred Olsen, you can also upgrade on here. I think it's about £200 per person, and you can actually have there a excursion package. And this will be trips to the city tour of Strasbourg, the Heidelberg Castle. You've got the scenic Moselle and wine tasting. Thank you very much. And a couple of other ones there. But what's really nice is this. We're going to start off in Strasbourg first of all, and from here, again, this is one of the unofficial capitals of Europe. Again, they've got UNESCO World Heritage Site, and it's a beautiful part to start your cruise. Now, as we make our way along, we're going into Speyer in Germany, and again, a compact picturesque and beautifully well-preserved area of Speyer. And again, as you sail along the Rhine, you've got amazing country lines, you've got the wine lands there as well. And when you're actually in the city, you've got the main attractions include the Neo-Gothic Memorial Church, and again other Gothic style cathedrals there dating back between 1893 and 1904. Moving on from there, we go into Mannheim in Germany, and this is a bit more energetic, it's a little bit lively here. Again, still plenty of sights and attractions to see, and of course you've got the National Theatre, which is fantastic, that puts on the opera and the ballets, and you have a chance to obviously wander around there as well. Then we go into a place called Oberwessel and then on to Koblenz. So we stop there in the morning and then head on to the larger Koblenz. And again, this is where the Rhine and the Moselle rivers meet. And again, a beautiful opportunity to wander around here. Again, as you go down here, you've got nearly 2,000 years of history in this particular part of the world. And as I said, when you see the castles, they're like something out of a Harry Potter or
they really are, aren't they?
Or something you've probably never visited before. And again, magnificent views that you can either go and visit, or when you're sailing along, of course, the Moselle, you can take in those views. We then carry on from there as we go up into Brinker Castle. That's going to be said wrong, I know that. And from there we then go on to Cochin as well. Cochin is absolutely beautiful. It's a small fairy tale-esque German town, and again it's situated just in the Moselle Valley. And from here again you've got a chance to go and read some of the locations. You've got the lush countryside there, and of course if you do like your German wines, which are not that popular I think in the UK as much.
Not as much as it
not
when
compared
I grew
to,
up.
but again when you try this, maybe you'll be hooked.
Well,
and
I'd always try.
Well, we can always try. And again, I think what they'll also do is they'll have a lot of the local wines on board that you can try as well, which is quite nice. Then on to Cologne, one of the big cities, and again from here you can wander around Cologne and spend the day there. Again, it was a very, very big city back in the Middle Ages. It's got bigger and bigger now. Again, a stunning cathedral to wander around, and again you've got tours to take in from there. And then from there we head back into Dusseldorf, and Dusseldorf again is where you've got a chance to see a little bit of the city there before obviously heading home at the end of the river cruise.
I have to say, I think that looks wonderful.
It is. It's very, very different. We featured the Rhine and Danube. We try and vary these river cruises, and as I said, this is a nice one. And the good thing as well, you know some of the prices of the river cruise. 1099 is the lead price on there.
And you can see there's savings up to £300 per person. So we have got an amazing deal today. And just to remind you of what's included on this one. So the lead date is actually the 4th of October. That'd be really nice time to go.
Yeah, so we've got the lead date on the 4th of October 2018, and then we've also got, I think, 2 or 3 dates for 2019. Now, if you're going to do 2019, that's just a £1 deposit. You've got free Wi-Fi on all cabin classes and all departures. Flights and transfers are included, and we've based, I think, out of London, but we've also got availability for Manchester and Edinburgh as well. Supplements may apply. You can call the team and they'll let you know about that as well.
And we'll give you the prices on those other dates. So the lead date is the 4th of October of this year. I would honestly, I know the suites are beginning to sell out, but I would upgrade to the French balcony.
Yeah, for £100, that is exceptional. Yeah,
because it's all about seeing the views, isn't it?
Yeah, because that's it, moving scenery the whole time, it's nice.
The river view, you'll just get a smaller
window, yeah, much
but
smaller.
The French balcony on that lead date for £100 more, I would definitely book that tonight.
Also for 19 as well, if you look at the prices there for the river view up to the single prices, there's not that much of a supplement.
But I think that lead date is cracking.
Really good.
Yeah, as are the other prices, actually. Anyway, I'll do this bit, Glenn.
Okay.
So, for just £10 per person per night, you can actually get a dining drinks package. So that's a choice of red and white quality house wines by the glass, European lagers and bitters, and a selection of branded bottled soft drinks, including Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola Light, you've got Sprite, Fanta. So that's really good. That's with lunch and dinner.
I wonder if you get away with breakfast. I wonder if you get an extra fiver and get breakfast as well.
Only you would think of that, Glenn. Yeah. But no, honestly, I think it's really worth it. It's only £10 a day, and that's your drinks with your lunch and dinner. I'd definitely do that.
Yeah,
definitely. Now, we are moving on to Princess Cruises, another great company.
Yeah, really good. Yeah, and again, we're doing loads and loads of Princess at the moment. They're really, really popular. A lot of stuff over Far East and Australia. But this one, we're bringing it a little bit closer home. We're going over to Norwegian Fjords, which, again, is a wonderful cruise.
From one of my friend's 50th birthday, Jane, 3 years ago now, she'd never cruised, her and her husband, Ian. She was really... she's like, if I ever... I don't
Sceptical.
know... She just didn't... genuinely in that, you know, they're quite, I shouldn't say this, but they're quite reserved people. They don't like big crowds or anything like that. But she said, if I'm going to try a cruise, I'll do it with you for my 50th. And they love Princess Cruises. And they love the fjords.
Yeah.
And they like, you know, even on the ships, they always found, because they didn't want a really, you know, busy bar and things, but you can always find a quieter corner, quieter that. They loved it.
No, they're really good. Really good. 5-star, very, very beautiful. A lot of the ships are very similar as well. So if you've been on one, they're very similar going on the other ones. Food service is always good. And
Jane's vegetarian as well, and she was amazed at the selection of food.
Oh, yeah, it's all good.
Anyway, let's give you a little taster of Princess Cruises and the fjords, of course.
So again,
amazing.
The fjords, I've done 3 years there in the fjords. That's Geiranger Fjord, which again is one of the places we're visiting there. Now the thing with the fjords, it's slightly different to other cruising. When you go on to places like Barcelona and Rome, they're big cities, so you dock and you go out for the day. Probably the highlight of fjords cruising is the cruising itself, going in and out of these fjords.
I even got up sometimes at 4 in the morning just to see the views.
Or got in.
Yeah. I went back to bed after I got up there.
But the main thing with this is the actual cruising. You can see there the spectacular views that you have. And when you go into the ports of call, a lot of them are small little hamlets, so there's not a great deal to do there. That's why we always push the guests to go out and do the excursions and go out further afield. Now, as I said, great places to go and see. We've got nice dates on here as well. You've got May, June and August. People always ask what the weather's like. Again, generally very, very good. Just take layers of clothing depending on how the weather's going to change.
One thing I would say, I've cruised around the fjords sort of May time.
Yeah.
Lovely, but you know, obviously a lot more snow around and some of the
May's a nice time of year because the snow's melting, so the waterfalls are really strong.
Really good. But if you go in July, when we went, you know, it's light, so virtually midnight.
Well, you nearly get midnight sun, so if you actually go at 2 o'clock in the morning, if the weather's good, you can actually almost sunbathe. So that's a little bit different. But I would say that the main thing with this one, if you can push the bank balance, obviously if you're on a budget, that's fine. If you can push to go to the balcony, you'll really appreciate it. It's one of the destinations that you really need to, pardon my pun, push the boat out and take a balcony.
And again, you can book tonight. Is it just £1 deposit?
£1 a person,
£1 per person as well. So let's just show you some of the wonderful places. Cruising out of Southampton, that is so easy always.
So you can take the luggage you want. Also as well, you can use the holiday in Winchester, £95 per person, and that means you get the night before transfers to the port from the hotel and your parking, which is a good way to do it.
If you live quite a way away from Southampton, because traffic is a nightmare.
Yeah, and it just takes the stress out of it and makes an extra day of your holiday. Then from there, we're going to make our way up as a day at sea, which is generally when we're doing a fjords cruise into the ever-popular Bergen, second largest city in Norway. Again, from here, one of the places you might just want to walk out and do your own thing on here, about 10 minutes into town. Hanseatic wooden-style buildings that all lean to one side. You've got the funicular and the cable car, great views over the city, as you can see there. Take pictures of the ship. And again, you've also got the fish market and general restaurants. You will find Norway, compared to the UK, is probably at least 2.5 times more expensive. So again, a lot of people tend to wander around and then come back to the ship. But again, if you want to experience Bergen, a nice way to do it. We're then going to a destination that some people haven't heard of before, which is...
I didn't do this one.
Hellesylt is the alternative docking area now to Geiranger. So you can actually dock in Hellesylt, and then the tour can actually take you all the way through from Hellesylt, past the village there, into Geiranger Fjord, and from Geiranger Fjord, that's where we're going to have our next destination. Now, Geiranger Fjord is probably the most photographed place in Norway. Again, here you want to do Eagles Bend and Dalsnabø. That's the viewpoints from the Dalsnabø side, and you've also got the Eagles Bend, and that's where you're going to see a lot of the pictures like you can see there. You can't walk up it yourself. I used to run up it, but it's a long way to go, so make sure you go on one of the tours there. Then we head back into stunning Olden, and again the sailing into Olden is spectacular. A small hamlet, a few little houses and a couple of little villages, shops, but maybe take the trip out to a place called the Briksdal Glacier. You can actually take the troll cars there, and they'll take you to the edge of the glacier. Great views there, and if the sun shines in it, it looks like beautiful blue colours, and that's a nice place to do. And then from there we head back into Stavanger. Stavanger is where a slightly bigger city, and again, a little bit like Bergen, you can go off, wander and get lost for the days. Again, more Hanseatic buildings, a few more bars and restaurants, but the main places there where I would do your tours in Geiranger and Olden, and maybe the other two places, just chill out and relax, and obviously take it easy.
I know this sounds really boring, but I did the Canning Museum in Stavanger, and it was actually really good.
Okay, maybe,
it was Keith that presented the show. He recommended it. It was actually good.
Need I say any more?
back to Southampton. Cannot recommend the fjords highly enough. They are stunning. And I remember just feeling so relaxed. I mean, we live, you know, the UK can be very busy, you know, a lot of traffic, a lot of congestion. The fjords are just the complete opposite.
But what's so good about the air is crystal clear, so even when you're wandering out and you feel alive and stuff like that. And as I said, going in that time of year, May and August and June, really, really nice time of year.
And I guarantee you will love Princess. They get great.
What's better to be laying on that back deck watching movies under the stars as you're sailing through the fields with midnight sun?
It will be amazing, and so if you've thought about it, that is one of the best prices we've seen with Princess. So starting at just $759. The date's obviously for next year, so you can secure your place right now with just £1 per person deposit. And this gives you an idea of say, the pricing there, and you will get, I forgot to mention, up to $500 free on board spend.
Yeah, depending on the stateroom, you do obviously goes up depending on the stateroom, but again, that could be put towards your excursions and drinks and whatever you want on there.
And we did talk about the balcony. That gives you an idea of the balcony. I was very lucky when I cruised with Princess. On one of the occasions, I had a mini suite, and they were really good.
They're beautiful and they're much bigger size. But again, to be quite honest, so long as if you can do the balcony, just imagine waking up in the morning, pulling the curtains back, and sailing through Gairanga Fjord. That's what you're going to spend your money on.
If you are on a budget, the one thing I would say, as a minimum, do the outside because you can see down some of the day. It's only a few pounds more.
Yeah, definitely. Look at the one on the 18th of May. It's £30 extra.
And to have that view. You know, it's amazing.
Really good.
To see sunlight at 2 in the morning is amazing.
Very nice.
Anyway, we have one final cruise for you, which is with Oceana Cruises, and we've called it Sunny Charms from Miami. I like that.
You like that one? You've done Oceana before, haven't you?
Yeah, very excellent. But they are known to have the best food at sea, and I would definitely echo that.
Yeah, we would sort of class them as a 5-star deluxe luxury. I know they've all got their own terminology, but I would say they've probably got the best food at sea. They've got their own, over in the States, they've got their own ranches for their meat, they've got the fisheries for the fish. It is exceptional, and you don't ever tend to have a 3-course meal on an Oceana. It's normally a 7-course. And again, this is one of these brands where, to be quite honest, once you go with once, you'll go back to. I've got clients that only go with Oceana.
Well, Sean and Hayley, two of our presenters here.
Well, I've sold them their 2 cruises to Oceana.
Yeah, they've just got another, haven't they? Yeah,
and she never gets off the ship.
I know. So, and I'm not.
She just drinks champagne and has lobster every day. Which is not being funny, it's like a normal night round yours.
But no, seriously, the ship was that good last time, they never got off once.
No, they didn't, and that was amazing.
But a lot's included. I know you might have suddenly looked at the price and thought, oh, you know, a bit more than some of the cruises on the show. But so much included on this one.
So I think if we have a look at the actual Oceana ships, and you'll see what you're actually paying the money for.
And then stay tuned because we'll show all the extras that are included, even excursions on the balcony.
So again, these are smaller ships. This was built in 2012, but it only holds about 1,250 people. So again, it's a smaller ship. You know, you're going out to some of these Caribbean ports of call with 4,000 or 5,000 people on. This is a little bit more select, let's put it that way. As I said, their culinary and their food and drink is exceptional. Polo Grill, Jack's, you like is it Red Ginger?
Red Ginger.
Red Ginger. Red Ginger's been voted one of the best restaurants at sea, to be quite honest. And again, with their speciality restaurants, I think you get a chance to dine in one of those throughout the duration of the cruise.
Which is
included on there. And as I said, they really do take the food and dining to the next level. It's not just that as well. Again, it's a bit of indulgence. You are paying for what you get, to be perfectly honest with you. And again, with that sort of maximum 1,250 people on there, beautiful staterooms that they have. And as I said, service is second to none. So, you know, as I said, Oceana, you know, might not be within everyone's budget, but if you can do it, you will probably not go back with any other cruise line again.
And as we mentioned, when you actually break down the value and see that, you know, you've got a lot included. If you go for the balcony, for example, you will get free gratuities and drinks and Wi-Fi and excursions as well.
So, so it's worth it.
Yeah,
it is worth it. Yeah, definitely.
But you're going to get to see an awful lot of places on this one as well.
We've got a fly around here. You haven't opened your wallet, have you?
You what?
There's a fly around there. Look, there it is. I thought your wallet had opened. There you go. God, the old moths are out.
We've had a real problem with them in the studio.
They are.
Yeah.
Right. So this is a package that we've put together. So again, we've included this with a 1-night pre-stay in Miami. But I think again, this is only a 12-night package altogether. So if you can extend another couple of days in Miami, worth it. Miami's fantastic, and you can do stuff there. We've just done it with a 1 night. But again, if you want to extend it, you're more than welcome to do so. Now again, transfers are included on this one, and we can actually upgrade you from London Heathrow flights for about £549 per person to premium economy. Again, if you're looking at supplements around the country, we can look at those for you as well. Now on the cruise, you're going to start off first of all making your way over from the port of Miami into a place called Grand Stirrup Key. Now this was Norwegian Cruise Line's private island, but obviously Oceana are going in there. 268 acres, you've got the sandy beaches, you've got snorkelling, you've got the lighthouse. This is paradise, and again you've got your island there. Not a bad way to start your cruise. From there we've got a relaxing day, and then we go over to Puerto Rico. Now Puerto Rico, they're having a few of the ships turning around there. Now again, going into Condado and places like that, you've got the old town of Puerto Rico, and then from there you can actually go on to the beaches, the wilderness, and some of the destinations there. So nice to have a little bit of contrast. From there we go into some of the big Caribbean islands. St Martin, talk about it divided between the French and the Dutch side. Again, great for your shopping, good for snorkelling and swimming. And I would make your way over to the French side in the morning and then head back to where you're docked in the Dutch side in the afternoon.
It's amazing. It's a very small island, but the difference in the Dutch and the French side.
It's very, very different.
They really are.
Really, really different. We used to do the quad bikes. If you've got a chance to do the quad bikes, shoot
brilliant.
over there and do that. That's a good way of doing it. We then go into Antigua, which is one of my favourite Caribbean islands. Again, famous for its beaches. You've got the catamarans. You've also got a place there called Stingray City. You can go swim with the stingrays if you wanted to. But a wonderful, wonderful place over at St John's and the Dockyard area. A little bit of UK culture out in the Caribbean. We then go on to St Lucia, another phenomenal place. I don't need to go on too much about it. You've seen it in all the travel programmes. You've got the Pitons, you've got Sofri, Marigot Bay. Plenty of things to keep you occupied in one of the beautiful islands of the Caribbean. Then you might see this in a lot of the OK magazines over the winter time. A lot of the supermodels and me go over there, and we party over a place called St Bart's. Now this is where Millionaires Row is, and again when the ships dock on there you can wander around the little back streets there. You've got the French style of St Bart's, but it is wonderful, wonderful place with the designer shops. Just make sure you've got your credit card, but it's not the cheapest place.
I know you're thinking of retiring there next year, right?
Of course, yeah. Well, you're closer it to me, mate. Then we got a couple of more days at sea just to relax on the beautiful Oceana, try some of those specialty restaurants, and then from there back into Miami, and we'll fly you back home. Wonderful, wonderful cruise.
That is going to be spectacular, isn't it? And let's again just take you on board the beautiful Riviera here. We are talking about absolute excellence when it comes to food, service, restaurants, decor. That was Red Ginger we're looking at there right now. Polo Grill, and you do get to try the specialty restaurants. You get to try each of them, don't you?
Yeah, you do. Yeah, and as I said, on a 12-night cruise. But as I said, even the main restaurant. As I said, we've been on Oceana a couple of times for just when it's been docked in Southampton. Even for lunch, it was about a 7-course meal. So it's a gastronomical delight. And as I said, they have their own fishery and cattle ranches. Beautiful, beautiful food. And as I said, you won't taste anything like it on a cruise ship.
And that, even the inside staterooms there.
Yeah, it's not bad, is it?
No, God. Right, there are some very important things to tell you about this one. So, just want to talk you through. The lead date we've got is the 15th of March, but if you go for a balcony on this one, you get so much more. We did the maths, and it really is worth upgrading, because you will get free gratuities, you will get your drinks, you will get $600 spent per stateroom. That's a lot of money. You'll get Wi-Fi, and you'll get 6 shore excursions as well.
Exactly, yeah. Now,
so
again,
that adds up to an awful lot.
We're going to give the balcony prices on there, but again, if the budget doesn't stretch to that, you can go for an inside or outside, and you're going to get the free gratuities and $100 on board spend. But when you see the prices, I think it would be worth going for the balcony.
Just talk through Glenn and his team. They'll talk you through. If you wanted to upgrade your flights, you can do that to premium economy from just $549, and say you can book that one tonight by giving us a call right now on 0808 250 2662. Here's the prices, by the way, if you are thinking of upgrading. So, if you go for, if you look at the first date there, the difference in price is about £550, but you get all of those extras.
1st of January is even less. It's about 470.
Oh, it is, isn't it?
Yes,
good
quite
maths.
good. Thank you very much. Yeah.
So it really is worth going for that upgrade if you can afford it. But let's God, lots of great choice, isn't there? I don't know which ones to book.
Oh, I'm sure you'll book them all.
I've got an empty diary at the moment, seriously.
Really?
Yeah, it's because I'm moving house. I'm a bit kind of,
Okay.
I just don't know when I'm moving, so I don't know when I can book a cruise. Well, neither of the stress is going to be terrible, I think. But anyway, we started off with that fabulous all-inclusive with Marella. That's your free upgrade, don't forget, so that's your tips and everything. We're talking about great winter sun, lead date being the 30th of November, and flights based on London Gatwick. But with Marella, we can find you flights from most UK airports just for a supplement there. Low deposit site, just £75. The ID number for that one is 160151.
There you go, that's good for the eyes. Well done.
I know, I can read that one.
Then moving on to the next one, we talked about the one Dan was talking about, that's on Oceana, not Oceania, Oceana P&O. And this is the one going over to Dubai. I'm actually going out on this one on November the 10th, which is a slightly shorter cruise, but this one is an 11-night one on this one. A low deposit of £1 per person. The ID is 139230. Again, select fares. On some of the select fares, you'll also receive some onboard spending money, and they've got return flights from Manchester and London, plus all overseas transfers.
Now, the next cruise we had was with Norwegian Cruise Lines. Again, it's another all-inclusive. Am I getting to do all the all-inclusive ones tonight?
Well, I'm not saying a word.
So, it is premium all-inclusive, but that does include, obviously, your soft drinks, beers, wines, spirits. You get all of your gratuities and service charges, and the price there starts at $1599, and you will get your Wi-Fi as well. So, that is a brilliant deal. Take you over to Malaysia and Thailand from Singapore.
Okay, then we moved on to our river cruise, which was with Fred Olsen. This is a lovely one on the Moselle Valley. And again, various dates. We've got October 1 and then a couple then in, obviously, 2019. And again, what's nice with this one is that you've got the lead date on the 4th of October, £1 deposit on 19 departures, free Wi-Fi in all cabins, flight transfers included, and they're also available from Manchester and Edinburgh with a supplement on that one for you.
What about the Norwegian Fjords? Well, a chance to see those spectacular sights with, of course, Princess. It's for next year, so again, you can secure yours tonight with a massive deposit starting as little as £1. And the price there is $759, but I cannot recommend that highly enough. And you will get up to $500 free onboard credit per stone, depending on which one you book there, of course.
And then finally, we featured the Oceania cruise going out to Miami. As I said, extend it to a couple of nights in Miami if you want to. If you go for the balcony, you're going to get free gratuities drinks, $600 on board spend, plus 6 shore excursions. That's not easy to say with these teeth. Exclusive on free gratuities are $100 if you do inside or outside. And again, you can upgrade from London Heathrow on premium economy for $549. Again, our staff can look at if there's regional airports.
Now, if you've always wanted to meet Glenn in real life, he's going to be at this event. You're going to have security with you, obviously.
Obviously, security, yeah.
The paparazzi will be there as well.
Yeah, my agent will be there.
But it's going to be a great day, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really good. As I said, we normally have a couple of hundred people there. You've got a lot of chance to speak to the agents there, you know, the general sort of Regent and Crystal and the companies that are there, and then pop downstairs and we normally get you booked on a cruise.
Brilliant. So do check that out on the Planet Cruise website as well. We're not going to see Glenn for a few weeks because he's going to be away on his holidays again.
I am now on holiday for the next 2 weeks. I'm going out to see my mate Matt and Lynn. So I said to say Matt and Lynn, I'm coming out to see, I'm best man at their wedding over in Lindos. So I've been writing the speech all week. God help them.
Listen, you have a great time.
Yeah, you enjoy yourself as well.
Thank you. I'll be with you next Tuesday as ever with Planet Cruise. I think it's Justin with us next week.
Justin with you next week, yeah.
And we're going to be seeing a lot more of Dan as well.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you so much for watching as ever. We'll see you next week on Tuesday.
Hiya, thanks for watching the video. Now don't forget to like, comment and subscribe below. Remember to click that bell to get all notifications, and if you're looking for more fantastic travel video content like this, click on the videos to the right hand side. It'll be really informative. Or click on the Planet logo to the left to go to our website for some fantastic deals. Keep cruising.